Projective techniques. The projective techniques are assumed to reveal those central aspects of personality that lie in the unconscious mind of an individual. Unconscious motivations, hidden desires, inner fears, and complexes are presumed to be elicited by their unstructured nature that affect the client's unconscious behaviors. The assignment of a relatively unstructured task is a major distinguishing feature of projective techniques. An unstructured task is one that permits an endless range of possible responses. The underlying hypothesis of a projective techniques is that the way the test material or structures are perceived and interpreted by the individual reflects the fundamental aspects of her or his psychological functioning. In other words, the test material serves as a sort of a screen on which respondents of their characteristics, thought processes, anxieties, conflicts, and needs. Projective techniques. In projective techniques, clients are shown ambiguous visual stimuli by the psychologist and are asked to tell what they see in that stimuli. It is presumed that the client will project the unconscious concerns and fears onto the visual stimulus, and the psychologist can interpret the responses and understand the psychodynamic underlying of the problem of the client. The tests that utilizes this method are called projective techniques. These tests, besides their function of exploring one's personality, also serves as a diagnostic tool to uncover the hidden personality issues. The history of projective techniques began in the 15th century when Leonardo da Vinci selected pupils on the basis of their attempt to find shapes and patterns in ambiguous forms. In 1879, a word association test was conducted by Galen. Similar tests were used in clinical settings by Carl Jung. Later, Frank introduced the term projective method to describe a range of tests which could be used to study personality with unstructured stimuli. This way, the individual has enough opportunity to project his own personality attributes, which in course of a normal interview or conversation with the person who would not reveal. The more specific instruments also represent distinguished testing procedures in sense that test takers or psychological interpretations to be made of their responses. Classification of projective techniques. The various types of projective techniques have been classified into several categories by the psychologist. First one is the constructive. It includes all the testers and situations where the construction of some specific task is to be done by the examiner. The subject needs to be a frame of structure upon the situation presented by the examiner and be asked to draw a human figure, allowing the person to freely express the examiner's inclination. Constitutive. This category includes those testers which require the examinee to constitute structures upon some given unstructured materials, as for example, Rorschach ink block test technique. In this test, the examinee imposes own structure upon the unstructured ink blocks and the subject's responses are scored and interpreted. Cathartic. It includes those situations where the examiner can release his wishes, inner demands, conflicts, etc. through some manipulative tasks. Fourth one is the interpretative. It includes those those test situations where the examiner has to add detailed detailed things in the situation. For example, the thematic apperception test (TAT) and the word association test. In this category includes all those techniques through which the examinee gets an opportunity to develop and depend upon the visual things in the form of drawing, painting, etc. Frank cited that graphology is the best example of this category.